One of the most remote nations on Earth, threatened by rising water levels, has today experienced the damaging impact of what's known as a king tide. Tuvalu is a small group of islands 10,000 miles and 11 time zones away in the South Pacific. Islanders fear that the area could disappear within 50 years if action isn't taken over climate change.
This is my island, these are my people, and this is our life. Tuvalu is an island on the fish of Polynesia comprised of 9 coral atolls and surrounded by lagoons. Tuvalu is home to barely 10,000 inhabitants and is one of the world's smallest nation-state. At an elevation of only 15 feet, this is my island, these are my people, and this is our life. Tuvalu is an island on the fish of Polynesia comprised of 9 coral atolls and surrounded by lagoons. Tuvalu is home to barely 10,000 inhabitants and is one of the world's smallest nation-state. At an elevation of only 15 feet, issues of rising sea levels threaten to wipe Tuvalu off the map in the next 50 years. Our ancestors settled this island 3,000 years ago. The country is in danger of disappearing beneath the wave. Plans for evacuation are being made right now. Tuvalu is destined to become one of the Earth's first nations to be washed away due to the effect of global warming, making the Tuvaluans the first complete nation of climate refugees banned from their home islands, their culture, and identity taken away.
Tuvalu treated in 2002 for excessive release of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Tuvalu's problem is one that people believe that burning of fossil fuel, cement production, deforestation as well as burning of oil and natural gas will increase carbon dioxide gas in the air. Combustion of fossil fuels and deforestation have caused the atmospheric concentration of carbon dioxide to increase by about 43% since the beginning of industrialization. Because of its location 4.6 meters above sea level, known as low-lying island, and its physical nature that is lacking of surrounding shallow shaft, it is particularly susceptible to the adverse impact of global warming, lead to melting of iceberg and increase of seawater level. So, as a result, Tuvalu will be sink.
There are several effects of climate change on Tuvalu. Following the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, sea level has already risen by 20 centimeters between 1870 and nowadays. Considering the low-lying position of Tuvalu, this trend is going to dangerously affect the island. The objective of the government is to increase the resilience of coastal areas and settlement to climate change.
Due to the sea level rise, the ground of Tuvalu is prone to increasing salinization, threatening the habitats of some plants such as pulaka and coconut trees. Considering that pulaka traditionally is the staple food in Tuvalu, the adaptation strategy is to introduce salt-tolerant pulaka. Vectors breeding ground will have an increasing availability in the next years and decades because of the higher tides, inundations, and tropical cyclones. The increased availability will exacerbate the exposure of the Tuvaluans to waterborne disease and will increase the epidemic potential of the islands.
A new study finds that it is possible to slow the rate of sea level rise, which is one of the biggest threats global warming poses. Global sea levels have risen about 7 inches over the past century and the pace is accelerating. Is there anything we can do to stop sea level rise? As it turns out, reducing our emissions will help slow the rate of sea level rise. But at this point, it's unlikely that we could stop further rises altogether. The study estimated said that aggressive steps to cut emissions could reduce the amount of sea level rise by somewhere between 6 and 20 inch in 21st century. Coastal armoring. In Tuvalu, communities planting mangrove trees for fish breeding and prevent soil erosion.